This may sound trite, but sometimes SOBcon is the closest thing to heaven that sometimes I can find because of all the energy and joy and smiles and things that I find in this room and that I saw yesterday in your face, Jonathan, and what I see today. So before I get started, I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here and providing me that little slice of heaven this weekend. Okay, so I'm going to talk about leadership because while I have this little hobby here called SOBcon, actually in my real life, because I guess it's a little known fact that Starbucker is not my real name, and that's another blog post to explain all that. But I've been in the business world for about 28 years. I started when I was 10. I was a very quick learner. I got out there, and I've been practicing leadership for probably about 23 years. It's what I love. Because making a difference for somebody, leading them, pushing them somewhere, getting to a goal, you know, all the things we talked about yesterday, that's what I love to do. And I wanted to share with you today, well, first of all, a little of that with you and how it can apply to you. But first and foremost, you know, I think leadership is a lot of things. And for example, the other day or a couple weeks ago, someone suggested to me that a lot of times new leaders really don't have a lot of places to go to say, well, what are the things they really need to know before they go out there and start leading? Because everybody's a leader, you know. Everybody. You are. You are. You are. But there, you know, I got thrown into the pool pretty radically when I started out, and I didn't have a mentor that could just say, here's the rules of the road. So last week, and thanks to some encouragement from certain people, well, a lot of you in this room actually, just the other day I released an ebook on my blog, and that's sort of my gift. I don't have it in paper, but I have it online. It's called Leadership from a Glass Half Full, 5 lessons you need to learn before you jump in the pool. And I think from that standpoint, that sort of summarizes a lot of what I think are the basics. But today, you know, the basic stuff just didn't seem right for SOBcon. You know, it's just, you know, it's not the kind of the feel thing. So I wanted to approach this from a different direction. And I'm going to start by telling you a little story. I went to this little university in South Texas, in San Antonio, called St. Mary's University. Anybody ever hear of that? Yes. In fact, we have some people here today. In fact, we funded a student from St. Mary's, a senior, graduating next week, Stephanie Baumgart. I love that place because I was an accounting major.
Wow.
Yeah, I was an accountant. I am a recovering accountant. Oh, I need to get rid of the tweet deck because otherwise everybody's going to see what's going on here. It's too late. Exit. Exit. There we go. There we go. Back to this. Back to here. Okay, so I always had sort of a Jones for performing. Do you guess that? Can you like guess that? And it's kind of hard to do when you're an accounting major. You know, you can't get up during an accounting class and go, "Yay, let's go! Hey, accounting, debits, credits, let's rock." No, that wasn't going to work. So one day, there was a drama club on campus, right? And they were called the Shoestring Players, I think they were. And it really was on a shoestring. And I said, you know what? They were going to put on a production of Carousel. Everybody hear of Carousel? Rodgers and Hammerstein? Yeah, sweet stuff. And so I said, I'm gonna go audition for that. An accountant, go audition. Carousel. What the heck? So I go to the audition, and they want me to sing this song, "You Never Walk Alone." So I'd heard of it because Jerry Lewis sang it every year at the end of the telethon and everything, remember? Yeah. And I got up there, And it just sort of dove in, you know. When you walk through a storm, keep your head up high. And they're like looking at me like, are you crazy? What are you doing here? And at that moment, I had an epiphany. I said, this isn't working. I got to do something different. I got to do something unexpected. So I said to them, look, let me start again. And all of a sudden, I had this brainstorm, and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go into an opera voice, see how that goes. And all of a sudden, I got up there and went, when you walk through a storm, keep your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. And they're going like, holy cow. And where did that come from? You know, it was one of those things where something came out of you, right? You were faced with a moment. It was the most embarrassing moment, right? And I turned it into something positive and something unexpected, something that blew them away when they least expected it. And I knew I was on to something. So I got a part. And that's me, all of 20. I played the part of Jigger Cragen, who's a villain. Can you imagine me playing a villain? And that's the only time I probably ever held a cigarette in my hand in my entire life. But it was a great experience for me. I didn't make it to Broadway, which I guess would have been nice. I think I learned a lot of lessons about, doing the unexpected, right? Putting that little extra je ne sais quoi, who's the French speakers here? Yeah, exactly, into what you do. It's not hard. And so I took that concept into my leadership. And anybody that works for me knows they don't know what to expect from me when I walk into a room. You guys, I don't know what to expect from myself when I walk into a room. Because I'm always trying to add something a little different. I mean, I'll give you a modern example. With my team, I needed to get some, I needed to hit some metrics. I needed to get something going. So one day, I'm sitting in a meeting, and this is me, I'm an executive. I'm sitting in a meeting, and they're going, oh, I need to do this, and I need this. And all of a sudden, I go, you know what we need? More cowbell. We need more cowbell. And they looked at me like, what? No, I see, but we need more cowbell. So I immediately went, I had, teed up the video, and we sat in a leadership executive meeting watching Christopher Walken do that skit about more cowbell. But guess what? They connected the dots there. I put something in a context in which it made it fun, it made it interesting. We were going to go our goals. We were going to give it more cowbell. So I gave out T-shirts when people did something well. I went on the road and showed the video to all my staff. Everybody was riled up about more cowbell. And then finally, we top it all off. We had a management meeting, and I actually got my staff to wear wigs and guitars, and I played Bruce Dickinson, of course, the man who makes gold records. And we did the skit, and it sort of capped it all off. And obviously, that wasn't the sole reason why we hit all our targets that year, or we exceeded all of our expectations, or we beat our cash flow goals. But what the heck, it was really something that was unexpected. It just changed the dynamics of the discussion. Because I'll tell you something, a lot of what leaders do, a lot of what you do is pretty rote stuff, right? Marketing, selling, this, that. And you can get yourself locked into sort of this sort of mode where you're just putting stuff out there. Every now and then, you got to do the unexpected. You got to throw a curveball in there where all of a sudden you don't have to burst out in song all the time. It helps to do it in key. Right? Can you do that? No. But I think there's a certain benefit to every now and then getting out of your comfort zone. And to challenge yourself to do that. I mean, this is SOBcon is really a perfect forum to show that kind of leadership in that context, right? You're sitting at the table, you're doing some sort of brainstorming, you're sitting in a mastermind, And you have this sort of voila moment about something, put it out there, throw it out there. I don't care how off the wall it is. That's what this is all about, because by doing things unexpectedly, obviously you get a chance to frame that message differently. And as I was talking about, like the time I was auditioning or the time I was going to do more cowbell, these are moments where you get a chance to frame the message in a certain way and get people's attention and make it happen. And believe me, things can get, as I said before, things can get so rote is that sometimes you just got to kick people out of their stupor, right? I mean, I see that all the time when I'm talking to staff. You know, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. They had worked all day the day before, 10 hours. They don't want to hear what I have to say about hitting our goals, making our targets, achieving cash flow, return on investment, thinking outside the box, the paradigms, all those buzzwords that we were talking about yesterday. They don't care about that stuff. The only people that really care about that stuff sometimes are the people that invest in your company, but sometimes that's one and the same with you. So you have to really be able to speak two languages and be able to present yourself in a way that, yeah, you know, frames your argument, shows some passion, and you know, this can be fun. This can be fun. It's okay to have fun doing what you do. It's okay to show that you have fun doing what you do. There's no reason why you shouldn't, because this is your livelihood. This is your passion. You have to show your passion. And I try to show that every single day, no matter who I'm in front of, because I love what I do. I love being a leader. I love SOBcon, and I'm going to shout that to the rooftops in any way that I can, simply because I want to pass that along and I want to help people. So in this room, as we go forward today and tomorrow, think about that. Think about the unexpected and that difference that you can make when all of a sudden you just put something out there. Because I think that, here we go. You know, just give you, I'll sum it up where I started with an example. You never walk alone, right? Well, I can sit here and talk about this message, right? That means, we're a bunch of dreamers, and sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail. But, if I just talk about it like this and go, yeah, sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail, but we have friends, and, you'll never walk alone, Jonathan. You'll never walk alone. Isn't that nice? But if all of a sudden you say, walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Now, does that make a difference? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, you remember that message, because that's what this is all about. That's what I think. You're going to walk out of here on Sunday, and you're going to know you have 150 friends, or friends that you already knew, or friends that you met this weekend, and you're never, ever going to walk alone.